We're in today with the HD 7970. This is a 2013 video card with 2048 shaders, 3GB of VRAM GDDR5 Hynix, 384 bits bus width, running at 950 MHz on the core clock and 1425 MHz on the memory clock. We're gonna pair it up with this i7 9th Gen with 8 cores and 8 threads, and we're gonna see how this video card is running in a couple of games. Let's jump in. If we start with Apex, I think this game is going to surprise you how nice it's utilizing the video card. Look at this, 85 FPS on 1080p with low details, no FPS target. So if you activate FPS target, it will degrade the quality, but it will give you more than 100 FPS. This HD 7970 can actually do the job. It's utilizing 2GB of VRAM, maximum core load. It stays on 55 degrees because I put the video card on 3000, nearly 3800 RPM. You can actually see that the temperature is fantastic. I mean, the video card itself, it's got brand new thermal paste, and it's okay overall in an overall how shall I say, thermal performance with this game. Apex is utilizing great the video card and the system itself. It's got 47, nearly 50 watts consumption from the CPU and 9.2 gig of system RAM being utilized in the game. I mean, overall, the overall system is doing fantastic in Apex Legends, and there is a big chance you can actually play Apex with this video card, considering the age of the video card. I will say Apex is on the list on being able to be played with this video card, you know. So yeah, Apex Legends free to play, it's good for this video card. It's playable and it's working. If you decide to jump into PUBG with 1080p with very low details, you can actually see that the GPU is doing a fantastic job. Around 80 FPS on average with very low minimals, barely 20 minimals in this occasion, but it's got 61%. Frame time is okay, around 10-15. It's not that bad, not that good, but it's holding the game pretty well. 2.5 gig of VRAM utilized in this occasion. You can actually see that the whole thing it's kind of stable with the video card on 1080p. 58 degrees on the GPU core with 3800 RPM. On the system side, you can actually see the CPU, it's reaching 80 watts consumption. It stays around 57, 58 degrees on the temperature. It's under 60, so that means it's not very utilized based on the temperature and the wattage. On the system side, it's using 11.8 gig of system RAM. I will say that is a very good performance from the computer. But like I said, the GPU, it's in this situation with the problem because it's maxed out on the core. If we jump in Fortnite with 1080p with low details on, I mean, performance mode, it's actually the best resolution for this video card. You can actually see that I get around 80 FPS on average. It's good performance overall, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I think render scale will help us in this situation because we need more FPS. Not a very bad performance considering the age of this video card, but if it's running like this on performance mode and if you can adjust a little the render scale, I think you can end up with decent FPS. If it's reaching 100 FPS, that means is a big win. But with this performance, this video card is utilizing 1.4 gig of VRAM. It's using around 71% from the core. It's not a bad performance, it's just yeah, it's there, you know. 54 degrees with 100% fan speed. I will say overall this is a decent experience with this video card, seriously. On the system side, I get like 69, 68, around between 60 and 70 watts consumption for this CPU, 10.7 gig of system RAM being utilized, and under 60 degrees temperature on the CPU. Not that bad, seriously, not that bad. I will say on overall performance, it's quite good with this. If you jump into Farlight with this video card, you can actually see that the GPU is doing a fantastic job, 240 FPS on maximum. It's running like it should because this is exactly the game that I need to have a little fun with an old video card like this. 2 gig of VRAM, it's only utilized here, and barely 50% load on the core. 52 degrees with this amount of load only. I will say this is an overall good performance from this video card. I will not say this is stressful on the video card, neither on the system. The system, on the other hand, look at it. 50 watts consumption, 30% load on the CPU, under 60 degrees. Overall, this is a nice experience with the system, but that's it. You don't need more than 240 FPS with this video card. This is it. This is the maximum you need. But in World of Tanks with medium details on 1080p, you get hundreds of FPS. Actually, the game is running really fantastic, and I can't complain here. Let's see how we're doing. Maximum load on the core, 97, 57 degrees. I mean, the GPU is doing a fantastic job with this, so I can't complain here. Come on, look at that. 1.8 gig of VRAM utilized. This is an overall good performance from the video card. In order to get this performance, I'm using 1.8 gig of VRAM. That's actually good. The system itself is not stressed. 60 degrees, less than 60 degrees on the GPU core. 60 watts consumption maximum on the CPU, with 45 on load on that CPU, with less than 60 degrees on the CPU. So the system itself is not stressed. It has got no problem, the CPU. You know, the GPU, the only problem I have here is the core of the video card. Seriously, look at this. Fantastic performance, not a good minimal depending on the zone and how you're viewing the game. In some cases you can actually see that the minimals are dropping way too low. In this case you are utilizing 1.8 gig of VRAM in order to get this performance. But it does the job, you know, the system is doing the job. Overall, there is no problem in World of Tanks with this system. But in GTA 5 on 1080p with normal details, you can actually see there is a lot of potential for this video card. I got like a really nice FPS overall in this game, and there is no problem on actually delivering this performance with this video card. I'm using 2 gig of VRAM in this situation, and I will say this is a decent performance. 62% load on the GPU core. If there is no maximum load, then the temperature is down. That means it's 52 degrees on the core of the video card. That's actually fantastic. There is no point on actually maxing the fan like I've done now, with the purpose only to cool it down, you know. If I lower the fan speed, then the GPU can actually downclock in order to keep the temperature and the whole video card more efficient. In this case, with nearly 3,800 RPM, the video card is on 552 degrees, and it's running at maximum core clock and maximum memory clock. You know, if the GPU is doing the job, then there is no problem on actually playing the game like this. In the casino, usually it drops down, but you will see there that just a couple of FPS. System wise, it's okay. The CPU it's under 60 watts, so the stress on the CPU it's not there, only on a couple of threads, hence why I got 70 to 90 FPS in general. But if we are jumping in Dota 2 with low details, not minimal, low details, you will actually see that the video card is doing a fantastic job. It's delivering over 100 FPS with 1.4 gig of VRAM used, under 70% load on the core, and 50 degrees on the thermals on the core. Those are good numbers because it shows that the video card is capable of running this game very good. Over 100 FPS on average, 44 minimals and 71%. The GPU can do the job, there is no problem with this, but in this case you can actually see it's an overkill on the video card. I will say stick with the FPS that the frequency monitor has, and I think that will be very ideal. In my case, maxing out the fan is an overkill because I'm reaching 50 degrees. If I had just a little more power on the fan, I think this video card would have been ice cold. But if you jump in Counter-Strike 2 with this video card on lowest detail on 1080p, you will actually see that the GPU can actually do the job. Nearly 100 FPS overall with 29 on minimal and 65 on 1%. The CPU on the other hand is not consuming too much wattage. It's not being stressed too much. It's getting exactly 10 gig of system RAM on the spot with this GPU on this amount of details, and you can actually see that the CPU is not very stressed because it's under 60 degrees. On the GPU side, 2.7 gig of VRAM utilized. It's actually good because this video card has got only 3 gigs, so it's on the limit in this situation. It's using maximum core core load with 54 degrees. I actually see that the fan is very efficient in this situation. Can't deny that because the video card is fully used, core and on the VRAM. So I will say in overall performance it's quite okay with this video card. But if you decide to jump in Cyberpunk with this video card, you can actually see that the game actually starts. Do remember this is 1080p low details without any upscales, no FSR, nothing. You know, this is base resolution. Yes, we're gonna test FSR and see how it's running with performance mode. But I wanted to show you how it's running with normal details. So if it's running like this with without any upscales, with 30 FPS, above 30 FPS on average, 12 minimals and 31%, I will say there is a chance they actually played the game with this video card. And I'm actually surprised it's running like this. Maximum core log, 2.1 gig of VRAM use and 12.2 gig of system RAM utilized. I mean, the CPU is having a laugh, but it doesn't matter. Without any car, I want to see how it's running with FSR, then we'll jump in a car and see how much it drops. I like how it's working in Cyberpunk with this video card. Alright, with ultra performance, we get 56 FPS. Not gonna lie, I'm actually surprised. Let's take a look and see how it looks. You can actually see the artifacting from upscaling, but it's working with nearly 60 FPS on average, you know. 9 minimals, 43 1%. If the FPS is dropping below 50, then that's it. You don't have a chance, because then the moment you drive the car, it's going to be even lower. But the frame time is around 20, so 20 ms, and I will say this is quite okay. The VRAM managed to drop below 2 gig, so that is even better, and the temperature on the core managed to stabilize around 55 degrees. But if you decide to jump in Battlefield 1 with 1080p with low details, you're going to have a lot of experience here. Look at this. Nice performance overall, 120 FPS on average, 39 minimals and 95 on 1%. I put it on low details because I wanted this, how should I say, I wanted this video card to perform really well. I got nice performance here, 130 FPS, and it's using 2.4 gig of VRAM. The overall performance is good. Maximum load on the core, I mean load on the core because I got so many FPS, you know, the frame time is under 10. That's the real number that I need from this video card. Two things I like about this video card. One, I like how it's performing for the age that it's got. 10 years old video card and it's running like this. I will say this is a fantastic thing, you know, to see the performance from a video card like this. 3 gig of VRAM, is it enough to play games online? Yeah, it all depends on how you select that playlist, you know, in order to entertain yourself. I will say if you do the right choices, you can actually have a lot of fun with a video card like this. It's not using two 8-pin connectors, it's using one 6-pin connector and one 8-pin connector, so there is a chance on the power supply so you can have some fun with this video card. On the other side, that the second point that I want to make for this video card is that it's cheap. You can find this video card really cheap, $79.70, or an R9 280X, because this is what it says there, 280X. I like this idea that is cheap. It performs like this. You can restore an old machine like instantly. It puts. You can actually see there's a couple of games that runs really nice on this video card. But ideal will be to be with an R9 that has DirectX 12 compatibility. But at this stage, the previous that I tested, the R9 290 versus this one, there's not a lot of how should I say, big difference between compatibility, because this one and the R9 290 didn't manage to start Starfield, and that's the point of reference that I have between those video cards. Do I like the video card? I love it. I can't say nothing bad about it because it's got the right check boxes, you know. It's cheap, it's good for its age, and that's it. If you like the benchmark, make sure you smash that like button, and if you have any suggestion and if you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will see you very soon.